Okay, hi. It is the start of a new week and the start of a new vlog since I enjoyed vlogging last week for Spookathon so much. This week is Witchathon. It actually starts on Wednesday. It starts on the 24th, but I have a bunch of leftover books that I didn't get to during Spookathon because I only read 2 books that week. So I want to have them transfer over, and I want to start Witchathon early. So yeah. I fucking love kombucha. If you haven't tried this kombucha flavor, it literally tastes like spiced apple cider, and it's the best thing ever. Get your probiotics in. Okay, that was random. So what I'm gonna start with is I wish I would have filmed like a check-in about this or something, but I couldn't decide what to read next. So on Saturday, thinking that I was gonna read all day Sunday, I had my mom look at the 4 books that I got from the library. So I had her look at Shadow Shaper, Price Guide to the Occult, Skin Full of Shadows, and The Wicked Deep, and pick which one she thought sounded the coolest. But I didn't end up reading on Sunday because we ended up doing family stuff all day. So I'm going to start the book that she chose this week, today, and I'm going to start Shadow Shaper because that's the one she chose. So this covers the Witchathon challenge of it kind of covers the Witchathon challenge about reading a book that has to do with your ethnic background and your ancestors, because it has Caribbean folklore into it, and I believe that the character is Puerto Rican, but I literally know of no books that I want to read right now that are like the spooky Halloween theme and have a Dominican character. So this is the closest I'm gonna get Dominican adjacent Caribbean stuff. So I'm gonna read this. I have the audiobook for this, so hopefully it will go fast. It's pretty short. It's not even like 300 pages. And then after that, I think I want to do the Price Guide to the Occult. Just because this is like the most beautiful book I've ever seen, and I really loved Leslie Walton's, like the last book that I read from her, which was The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender. So I think those are my plans for right now. But I did just kind of like fuck myself up and requested 4 new books from my library. So we'll see when I get those. Hopefully I get them later in the week so I have some time to finish the books that I already have from the library. But I requested The Language of Thorns from Leigh Bardugo because I've kind of been craving reading that recently. And then I also requested The Library of Mount Char because I have the audiobook, but I want to be able to read the physical book too. And then Strange Grace, which I've mentioned a bunch of times, came out. Sounds really interesting. I'm hyped to read it. I've heard great things. And then Small Spaces by Catherine Arden, which I'm also hyped to read. People say it's very much like Goosebumps, which I was terrified of when I was younger, but I liked but I like now. I like the creepiness of them now. So those are my plans. We'll check back in if anything fun happens or if I actually get anything done. So who knows? But yeah, I'll check back in later. Okay, so here's a check-in. I am about 40% of the way through Shadow Shaper. I'm really, really liking it so far. It does have to do with like Caribbean culture, but it's much more a New York Latino, Afro-Latino thing, so I can't completely relate to it considering I'm pale and white, and I'm a Dominican living in California, so very different. But I like a lot of the topics that it touches on. So while it's evolving with this whole fantasy story, it talks about police brutality and racism and gentrification of certain areas, that are like predominantly minority areas, and I am loving it. It's great. I love all the Spanish in it. It just feels like something very new and like unique. Like you never hear about this stuff, especially in fantasy, and it makes me really happy. So I have to go eat dinner, but I will continue reading and update you if I have anything new. In my kitchen, change of scenery, I am making hot chocolate right now. I just got done with dinner, which was super good. I've been wanting to learn how to make kimchi fried rice for a while, and I saw this video of this Korean barbecue place in LA called Eights, I think, but they make like mozzarella kimchi fried rice. So I tried to make that today, imitating what they do, and it turned out so good. And today's been a good day, so I did that. Now I'm making myself hot chocolate because it's just a day to celebrate. Okay. So as far as reading today, I got a little bit farther through Shadow Shaper. I'm about 60% of the way in. It's really good. I'm really loving it. I'm almost not wanting to rush through it because I'm liking it so much. And it's not even that I super love the fantasy, which I do. It's super cool and unique having art as like powers, and you can use them as weapons, and they imbue spirits into these artworks and then bring them to life, which is really cool. Oh god, I just know when I'm editing this, the TV sound is gonna be super annoying, but whatever. So yeah, but like for me, my favorite part is actually the characters, kind of like how you can feel really the ambiance of where they're from, all the comments on gentrification, and like talking about where you're from and how somebody who's like Dominican isn't just Spanish, just like somebody who's Mexican isn't just Spanish, and talking about people from Haiti and people from Martinique and just the Caribbean in general. And I really, really like it. I can tell this is probably going to be one of my faves if the magical side really holds its own. Because other than that, like if this was a contemporary with no magical elements in it, I would probably be loving it just as much. So the funny part is that it's this very like, so it's talking about all these minority groups and the injustices, and there's a certain character who is this like one white guy in the entire story, and literally the second he came in I was like, oh, he's gonna be the evil one. He's this professor trying to learn about this other culture and then trying to like do what this other culture does after learning about it, and he becomes like weirdly obsessed with it, with the Shadow Shapers. And I was like, oh, he's gonna be evil, he's gonna be evil, he's gonna do this white person thing of I can do it better, I can become more powerful, blah blah blah. And yeah, that kind of seems like where it's going, so I'm really excited. I will check back in when I have more done. Oh my god, y'all. So I just went to the library and dropped this book off that I just finished, but I did say earlier that I was reading Shadow Shaper. This is the second book, Shadow House Fall. I loved it. 5 stars. Like, one of my new favorite books. It has issues. The whole actual fantasy part of it isn't the best. Like, it's a small book, so it doesn't have much of a foundation. I think that's the word I'm looking for. There's some stuff that it feels like it needs more explaining as far as like the history of everything, where it comes from. But besides that, I loved it. I kind of mentioned in the beginning that I didn't think that I'd be able to relate that much to it because it's a much more specific, because this is my Witchathon challenge for reading something related to your ethnic heritage. And since I'm Dominican, and I had to do with like Latinos in New York or something, like especially from Caribbean descent, I was like, okay, that's probably the closest I'm gonna get. And it was a lot more relatable than I thought. So there was a lot of stuff that I couldn't relate to still. But just the stuff about family, maybe it's because I'm on my period or about to be on my period and I'm super emotional, but the way that it talked about family and about recognizing your own power and the power that comes with recognizing your heritage and appreciating your heritage was a lot, like, really, like, struck me. Also, just kind of like the talk, and not an undercurrent, it is a major current of people trying to come in and steal your culture from you or take it away from you, like gentrifying or culture vulturing, like your heritage and your traditions. That struck a lot with me too, just because it's something that's been talked about a lot recently in this political climate. There was a lot of talk in this book about stuff like that, about gentrification, feminist undertones, yeah, just a lot of stuff. Like, there is a lot of stuff packed into this book. And like, ironically, that's why I think that some of the fantasy elements are left behind and why the pacing seems off on that. As far as her figuring out these fantasy elements, because a lot is placed on the atmosphere of the book. It's a very atmospheric story. I really enjoyed that, and you could like really feel it. But yeah, I really liked it. Again, it wasn't something that I could relate to, except for like the stuff about family and heritage. Really, really liked that. Yeah, it got me thinking. But anyway, what I'm about to do now, because one of my best friends and roommates from college, for my birthday, got me this makeup palette, which, go back to the clip before of me showing you Shadow Shaper. It has a lot of the colors used in the cover. So I think I might try to do an eye look out of this to match the cover. Just because I want to play with makeup. And my friend gave me that idea. So I think I'm going to do that. Hopefully my mom doesn't think I'm crazy. She probably will. It's fine. You know? We'll see what happens. I'll check back in later. So since it's the Witchathon kind of vlog, we're doing this until Halloween. So we still got a while to go. I haven't completely fucked up the readathon yet because it technically just started on Wednesday. But I've only finished one book so far, which was Shadow Shaper, which I showed you guys. And actually, one of my best friends, Melanie, for my birthday, got me a makeup palette, and I did a makeup look according to the cover of Shadow Shaper because I liked it. I liked it so much. So check out my Instagram if you want to see how that turned out. I think it turned out okay, but now it's like inspired me to want to do more looks like that. Like, the next book that I want to read is Price Guide to the Occult, and this is literally the most beautiful book I've ever seen in my life. Like, this book could be trash, but I'm still gonna want to buy it because, like, look at this shit. But yeah, I think a makeup look based on this would also be really cool. Like, could you imagine doing that as like eyeliner? I don't even know if I have the skills for it, but I'm gonna attempt it one day. I want to like read the book first though, obviously. So in order to do that and get out of the house, I think I'm gonna go to the library because Strange Graces, one of the books that I originally really wanted to read for Spookathon, has come into my library finally. So I'm gonna go pick that up and then probably just chill at the library for the rest of the day because like that's way more fun than just staying at home. So there's that. And yeah, I will check back in if I have done something. I have barely gotten any reading done. It is now technically Sunday because it's past midnight. So that's fun. I tried reading while I was out today and I had some time, like after work. That didn't work. It was too loud and then I kept forgetting what I was reading and I just wasn't into it, which sucks because like I'm really liking The Price Guide to the Occult. Really liking it. I'm 31 pages in. But yeah, so I'm gonna get ready for bed and then maybe read some of it. But the whole reason that I turned on the video was so that I could show you I got new books from the library because all my holds came in. So it's very exciting. First book I got was Language of Thorns. Very exciting. This book is beautiful and like I need to own it. Yeah, anyway. The second one was Small Spaces by Catherine Arden, which I'm also very excited for. One after that is Strange Grace. And then, where did I put it? After that, I got The Library at Mount Char, because this sounds really creepy, and I forget who I heard talk about it, but it's supposed to be like, I think it's like, it's fantastical, but it's also historical, and it's just really creepy. There's these libraries, and these people have powers, but there's some dark secret about the libraries. So I'm very excited for that. But yeah, those are the books that I got that I'm really excited to get to reading if I ever get around to them. But right now, I'm reading The Price Guide to the Occult, and it's cool so far. I've just really learned kind of like the background of the main character. It hasn't really gotten into her story yet. I don't know if this is just a magical realism like Leslie Walton's last book, like The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender. It seems like it's gonna be a little bit more like actual fantasy. So I'm excited, and I will check back in when I have actually read something substantial. I am off right now. I've been running late. It's been kind of crazy because I'm getting ready for a party, going away party type thing that my best friend is having. So I'm gonna go walk over to her house right now. Last night I didn't get a ton of reading done. I started falling the fuck asleep around page 50. So it's not going so great, but I do really like it. That's the thing, is just I don't have time to get into it. Like, it's been so long since I've physically just sat down and read something, no audiobook, that I just have to like sit there and focus on since college. So I like don't know how to do it anymore. And I also feel like I never have enough time. Like, I'm always supposed to be doing something else. So it's been tough, but you know, we'll get through. I brought my book just in case the party gets boring. Who knows? Probably not gonna read it all, but we'll see. It is now Tuesday. I didn't update you guys yesterday because I didn't get any reading done yesterday. I didn't get any reading done on Sunday really either, except for a little bit late at night. So I'm on about page 80, I want to say. I might be overestimating there. I think I might be on like 60 or 70 of Price Guide to the Occult. And I'm liking it, but like I said in the last clip, like I feel like I just have no time to read, even though I've been like sitting here watching YouTube videos for like the past 30 minutes when I could have been reading. But yeah, I've been nervous. I had an interview yesterday that ended up not being a great fit, and like the person interviewing me agreed and sent me some other options for that same company if I wanted to interview or apply for them. And then I had an interview today that I think went really well, that I'm very excited about, so that's all good. Yeah, I think I'm trying to I really just want to get like at least one more book done before Witchathon is over on Wednesday. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I hope that I can. Maybe I think I still have it. I think I still have the audiobook for Library at Mount Char, because that was going to be the book that I was going to start after Price Guide to Occult anyway. So, I think I might start that today on my bike ride. Or I'll just do a short bike ride today to the library, sit there and read for a couple hours, and then come back home. I do not know what to do, but I will check back in on whatever I do. So yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to close out this whole kind of failed Witchathon vlog. Excuse the mess in the back. I just got done making a lasagna for dinner tonight for my mom, because she asked me to, and I'm trying to be nice. I am still reading Price Guide to the Occult. I'm about a little less than halfway through. I'm only on chapter 8, I'm pretty sure. Yep, chapter 8, and that's only page 114. Yeah, college really, I didn't realize how long it had been since I'd read a book without, like, physically having the book, because, like, I read a lot of ebooks without the help of audiobooks when I was in college. So, like, especially a summer that I got a lot of reading done was the summer after my sophomore year of college, because I had a job where I was working late at night, it was really slow, and I could read. And so I did a lot of reading. I did a lot of reading, both English and Spanish. And for me, reading with a physical book in Spanish is a lot easier. Of course, reading with an audiobook is even easier for both of those. But I was able to do it, and it's been such a long time since I've had a physical book, and I've sat down and read a physical book without an audiobook in English. And I forgot how hard it is. And not hard as in, like, I just think I'm beating myself up because I'm remembering myself being a really fast reader and somebody who, like, I finished the last Harry Potter book that was 792 pages in 2 days, just reading nonstop. And I think I forget how much time that took, and I keep getting frustrated with myself for not reading fast enough when I realize that I'm not putting the same amount of time into it. I'm not letting myself read till 3 or 4 in the morning because I'm like, because I want to keep my sleep schedule sane, because after college, you know, I want to have a normal sleep schedule. Like, fuck that noise of not going to sleep at a decent hour. So I'll only let myself read till, like, maybe at the most 1, maybe 1:30. And that's, like, sitting in bed and sitting down to read at, like, 11. So I'm only really getting, like, 2 hours of reading in anyway. And I think that's just something that I have to work on, of not beating myself up about that. But I am proud of myself that I've been consistently vlogging. That's been something that's fun. I've been wanting to have my channel started up again for a while. And I've learned that sometimes the best way for me to get stuff done, like in the case of reading this book, which is still very interesting, and I'm interested to see where it goes, because at this point, all I've seen is setup, is I just need to, like, not give a shit. Like, for me, it's never good if I try to restrict myself or discipline myself too much, which sounds terrible, but I will naturally be more disciplined if I don't feel like there's all this pressure on me. Like, I said to myself when I was like, oh, like, you know, like, I'm bored, I want another activity to do besides reading, or looking for jobs. And so I was like, oh, why don't you start up your booktube channel again? And I was like, but the constant filming and then the editing, because I wanted to do vlogs. And and so, like, my thought was just film whatever you want, don't give a shit what you look like, and fucking do barely any editing and put it up. And, like, that actually got me to be remembering to check in daily, or if not daily, then every other day or whenever I had time. And yeah, I've been really enjoying it. And I've been trying to do that more. So, hopefully, this will become a weekly thing. Or maybe, who knows, whenever I feel like I have enough footage. But yeah, that is the end of Witchathon. My wrap-up is that I only fully read one book, and that was Shadow Shaper. I gave that 5 stars. I loved it. And then I read about half of Price Guide to the Occult. And I still have my other, like, 10 library books that I want to read. But thank God that they're not due until, like, the 16th of November. So I will see you guys later in the next vlog.